Hello, welcome back to Kaiserreich. So I had an idea for what to do here, and it might backfire horribly, but I think it's probably going to be fine considering the amount of troops we have stationed here. And the idea is to, by the way, look at the lack of strength all across the line here. Yeah, the idea is to send all of these guys, the first corps, over to Britain. So to do that, we need to send them first to Aarhus, or we could send them to Odense and have them all form up on a line here. The best way to do that is just to draw a front line, because then they're going to strategically redeploy in the best manner possible. I mean, well, we still got this one division that's going back. I'm probably going to, like, once they reach Stavanger, or yeah, that abouts, I'm going to send them back, and I'm going to send them back to Scotland. Hopefully they'll be able to ship over there before the Brits can actually... Actually, can I straight up... Okay, I can ship them straight up to Scotland. Yeah, because I don't want to have him down the south here, because all he's going to do here is going to get encircled. But if we send him up north, he might be able to just wait there until the rest of the troops arrive. And then maybe we can send these troops down south once I'm fairly confident that all of this is going to hold. I think, yeah, we'll assist with this final push here. Once we reach the Dutch, like the Dutch borders here, then we'll send these troops up north to Britain, because this stuff is going to get encircled if we do it correctly. And by that I mean we need to take Antwerp. You know, I kind of really want to do the... Let's set up a reactor up in the north. Of course, this was where they got the heavy water from various hydro plants up in the north, which was, in some Allied thinkers' minds, a possible pathway for the Germans to make an atomic bomb. However, that, in my opinion, that is kind of like overstated, or like overplayed. It's very unlikely that the Germans would ever be able to manufacture an atomic bomb using the heavy water extracted from Norway. However, Allied thinkers at the time believed it, and I believe the Germans were still trying to pursue it. And various sabotage actions were carried out in northern Norway and all across Norway, basically, to try to stop this heavy water production. Yeah, I think we need to send troops down south. Oh, never mind, it's not going to get encircled because we need to take Liège as well. We'll try to do that though. Antwerp is quite the fortress, so it's going to be hard. They're not redeploying. Guess I'll have to do it manually. And we're actually being extremely effective in the English Channel here, which is kind of surprising to me considering... Well, I mean, it's not really. The AI is fairly bad at this kind of stuff, but they really should have set this as a no-go zone for their convoys. We are running out of oil, though. Oh my god, that's loud. Your destroyers are complete, thank you. Send them to the reserves immediately. Look, we're pushing into Antwerp. It's working, but it's very slow. This did not work for Namur. Oh yeah, we've taken Antwerp. Okay, cool. In which case, if we take Liège, we have an encirclement. So I strongly doubt that's gonna happen. The south is just collapsing, but there really isn't much I can do about it yet. The reason it's collapsing is just the French keep redeploying their troops and not actually committing to any defense, any sort of strategy. Now our troops are just not leaving. Being pinned. Let's see, how do we go about this? There's no fort in, oh, there is a level 1 fort in Namur. There's no fort over here, so if we take Flanders, we could potentially try to just push through and encircle this way. Then we won't get this stuff here, though. I'm thinking we'll attack with these guys into Namur, and then we're going to use these guys to support. Need to wait for some organization to build up again. And still, just no new traits. Oh, we got one over here for Otto. No, we don't. He's leveled up, but he doesn't have any traits he can pick between. Yeah, literally nothing anywhere. This is just horrendously disgusting. Are these guys leaving now? There's 3 there. Where are the rest? Oh, there they are. But apparently that isn't going to work. We can't support with this guy because he's busy defending from an attack from Brussels, but this is looking optimistic, so we might not even have to support. I'll do it to speed it up. Okay, we've taken Namur, sorry, not Charleroi. That's the one we hold here. And now from there we're going to move directly into Liège. And that should be an encirclement. We have a lot of cavalry divisions though, which are extremely useful for this kind of stuff, to prevent an encirclement like this, because you can move troops into gaps whenever they form, before the enemy can actually move their troops in. I think cavalry divisions are consistently underrated in the Hoi4 community, especially in regions such as the Soviet Union and in Africa. They're just so absurdly powerful. And also, the Pacific states of America are doing work. Jack Reed still refusing to go off of extensive conscription and go any further. Alright, we hold the edge. Now we just need to wait until these guys start suffering attrition. Surely Hasselt doesn't border Wallonia, right? Apologies if you heard that. I might have squished my bottle a little bit while I picked it up. Or my can, rather. Because I need to, you know, constantly take in fluids and all that to keep my voice or my vocal cords lubricated. Doctor's appointment is still not for quite a while. See if we can cut them in two here. That means that you can, like if you cut them in two like that, you can deal with them one at a time, instead of trying to push into the entire thing at one time. Like at the same time, I mean. Okay, and in the classical fashion, the AI has completely abandoned the south, so we've just reverse naval invaded them again, while we're holding up here in the north. I'm gonna set up a front line to push towards Liverpool and the river by Hull. I'm not quite sure what river that is. My, you know, river geography in Hoi4 is garbage, but that's also because the map is quite distorted when it comes to all this kind of stuff. That's an encirclement waiting to happen. Also, speaking of, I'm gonna send a soldier back there, and I'm gonna have these guys assist with this. And have these guys, I guess, yeah, they don't border any danger zones at the moment, so I'm going to have them just push in and assist on these fronts. Because we're getting pushed into Antwerp here, or the enemy is pushing into Antwerp, and if they take Antwerp, the encirclement is immediately nullified. Where's the other division? In Oslo, okay. I might just collapse this corps into the first corps. Yeah, well, because currently they're serving no other purpose than to retake Britain. So I may as well collapse them into that and then just set them to work. I'm actually just going to set them to work immediately, because we might be able to encircle these guys, because they've positioned themselves in a very awkward place in Britain where there are no nearby ports. So if we just do this, move like that, and have him pinned there, they immediately get encircled. Yeah, we need to move down on this real quick. Okay, there we go. Division's overrun. Let's send then the blue, the second corps, to... I suppose maybe... Okay, we're gonna send them over here. Because that's where they're pushing in, which means the, our troops aren't able to hold anything here. They're holding here, so they actually have troops standing still there, and they're holding, I think, over here a little bit. So they have troops standing still here. So we basically need troops here, and down here. We've got almost no organization and we're still able to take them here. It just speaks to the sorry state of the Communard troops at the moment. Just all across the board, they're lacking so much in strength. What the fuck happened here? Oh, we can't see it because we don't have troops nearby. That's why. We send an attaché to... yes, we can. To the Danish. There we go. Yeah, okay, so it seems safe for now. Activate 330 Squadron. This is a famous Norwegian aerial squadron, which I believe is still in service, active service to this day. Three 330. Problem here really isn't that the enemy is stronger than us, it's that our troops aren't fighting them. Like, no fighting is going on, the enemy's just moving constantly. So if we just stood still for one moment, the enemy wouldn't be able to take any territory because they are, I believe, weaker than us at this present moment. Like, look here, we're standing still now. Maybe. Oh yeah, they aren't actually making any progress now that we're standing still. Holding our ground. That's what we need to do. Actually, don't attack. Just assist. Sadly, I don't have the troops necessary to basically babysit every single front. Nor do I have the manpower at the moment. Wish these guys would just declare war on the Russians again. And this time be on our side. Because last time it kind of fucked us. Or maybe the Japanese. Like, surely they can't. They can't love the Russians at the moment. Okay, yeah, so they could, in theory, the moment their war with the Chinese ends, they could, in theory, declare war on the Soviet Union, which would potentially be a lifesaver. Heavy on the potentially, though. That's a familiar song from the Finland Let's Play. Alright, let's try to keep pushing this way, because these guys should be out of a lot of organization, and we can just keep the momentum going like they did when we were being pushed back. Just relentless, constant advance. They have no way of countering it, really, because they're already at such low strength and organization across the board. If you keep moving into them, they will keep moving back, which is what's happened to us here. Of course, we can't do the same to them, because once you are on the back foot, you are on the back foot, really. I could if I had control over all of our allies' troops, but I don't. If only I could just take control of a handful of troops. Just have the French surrender executive authority to me. Little Norway here. I'm still impressed this is holding. Like, from both sides. I'm impressed the Communards are holding this, and I'm impressed the Entente are holding this as well. But yeah, our Indian friends here should be arriving by the truckload. I say our new Indian friends, I'm mostly referring to the fact that they haven't really been all that present on the Western Front, I believe, because they were fighting a war with essentially Bangladesh, the Bharatiya Commune. Kind of an anachronism. It would be, if anything, I suppose, referred to as East Pakistan around this time, like a few years after this. Yeah, I'm actually, at this point, I have full faith that the Pacific States of America will win this war. It's just going to take forever. It would be kind of sick if, maybe not that sick, as I think Canada would get capitulated by the Combined Syndicates, but it would be kind of sick if we entered the war against the CSA. Okay, I think the best thing to do here is probably push down south and try to separate this from this. That's how I'm going to mostly employ these troops. For now, though, I'm going to push into this because they're getting pushed in there. I want to have these guys actually assist and not actually move into that province over there. What the fuck? Why would you do this? This does not work in our favor, France. What the fuck are you doing? I'm gonna set a front and keep pushing. The West Indies Union was captured, okay. That would go entirely to the Canadians, or the West Indies Federation if it still exists. It does not. There we go. Yeah, let's start the nuclear bomb research here. The reactor isn't going to be done until 1947, though. Wonder why they're so, like, holding on so stoically here. Might be because of the Ukrainian troops and not the French troops. The French communards obviously are... Oh my fucking god, I hate this. The French communards obviously are the ones that are completely bereaved out of the communard troops. The northern Italians still have their industrial base, and so do the, you know, the German puppets, the Austrians, and so on. But the strongest ones, by far, should be the Socialist Republic of Ukraine. Oh, Swedish song. They do have a port in Bristol, but we might... No. Yeah, we might actually be able to encircle them because of that whole thing with, you know, people not getting tossed into the sea and instead just getting encircled instead. Expansion of the DNL is a failure. Oh, I mean, that's too bad. Oh, fuck you, Netherlands, and fuck you, France. Why do you do these things? Not gonna work. That might. So after we take Britain back, we then need to send our troops over to the lowlands and try to take the lowlands back. The Dutch have an absurd amount of divisions, though. They have an absurd amount of troops, because they haven't really been at war for this entire time. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, they've just been sat here building up an army to conquer Europe with. Someone pointed out a while back, like, props to the Dutch for avoiding war for this long. Yeah. Good shit, good shit, Netherlands. They went, yeah, they went through the Belgium policy and stuff. Like neutrality, except we take Belgium. Right now I'm just trying to laser down all the ports so the British can't, well, the communards can't ship any more supplies and reinforcements over here. I'm not too concerned, like I'm not overly concerned about taking London and stuff, or the victory points. I'm mostly concerned about these guys. Once those are done with, we can clean up the rest, or the Canadians can do that for us, and we can ship our troops over to where they can be useful again. You know, I'm thinking, no, we don't need scraping the barrel. That's going to increase training time as well, which we don't really want. Because if we stop training, I think we can start possibly regenning this, and then we can start training again later on, once we have more of a pool of manpower to work with. The concern is that we're going to face like one massive... What the fuck are you doing? That we're going to face one massive assault, like one massive push from the enemy, and immediately run out of manpower. Tibet cancelled their non-aggression pact with us. Alright then. I'm not overly concerned. Alright, we should be able to take all this stuff. We actually only need to take Portsmouth. This guy can just move over there. Of course, we lost Bristol because I was completely abandoned for some inexplicable reason. Are we pushing them back here? Right now we're stopping the training of new divisions. Let's assign this one to the second corps. The corps are almost becoming armies of their own right now. I don't know how, what the actual definition for an army would be in this time in terms of manpower. I know that a corps is something like 30,000 men, I think. Or is it 60,000? I think it actually might be like 30 to 90,000 is a corps, which would be like a couple of divisions. Like 3 or something, maybe. Alright, we're finishing up the doctrine tree, and we're also almost finishing up the tank design, which means at some point we are going to start sending our navies back to port to regen oil so we can actually use the tanks. Oh, fuck me. What is this? We have a lot of cleaning up to do. That's an encirclement. That's a huge encirclement. And we don't have anything nearby in order to respond to it. We just have to let it happen. What we could do, we could actually reassign, let's see, we'll stop this and do this. Hopefully that doesn't lose us too much momentum, and then we'll do something like that. Have them try to clear out that stuff. If we had troops nearby here, we would set them up here and then push down. This is a waste of manpower. We're going to hold these guys and wait until we can encircle these guys entirely, and then attack from multiple directions for the bonus. But yeah, with you know, the ebb and flow of the fronts and the ebb and flow of the tides of war here, I think we should call the episode, because we are past the 30-minute mark by quite a lot. I kind of do get lost in the micromanagement of things and forget about the time. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in reaching me on social media, you can find relevant links in the description down below. Discord, Twitter, you can follow me on Twitch, where I will be live streaming at some point in the future, soon, TM, as well as links to Patreon and Humble Bundle affiliate links where you can support me financially. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Casualties will be in the next video. Goodbye.